Well, this certainly looks complicated. I better be free with my eraser. Welcome to Frank's School. Uh, Freedom to Build, Dweller Control of the Housing Process by John F.C. Turner and Robert Fisher, 1992. You can now buy a copy of that for almost $500. That's all I saw available. I once had a copy of it. It was a paperback. I don't think I read the whole thing, but then I lost it. I don't know what became of it. Another book, Housing by People, for a mere $94. You can have that book. I think those are worth looking into. I just thought I'd mention them. I've got my subject here is really going to be something else. In the last video, I mentioned northern Italy. I meant northern Spain. Vitoria Gasteiz is the city, and I'll give a link again. I gave a link in the last video of where you could actually go to that city with me as your guide, looking at the timber framing there. Now, this is the 15th in this series, which is going to be quite long, and that's a playlist. All right, limitations is what I'm going to real quickly deal with. I'd like you to be aware of the limitations that I'm working under. First of all, I'm going to call it quote-unquote government limitations. Now, the government, when you go to build something, you run into permits, the necessity of permits, inspections, codes, insurance, loan if you're going to get it from a bank. There's zoning matters, and I'm ducking underneath all of that, sort of flying under the radar by not insuring it. And but here, if it's less than 100 square feet, you can, and it's not on the floodplain, and it's not for human habitation, which I cheat on. What you do there, I've said before, you call it an artist studio. That's what people generally do. And if it's less than 100 square feet, you can get away with all that stuff here. Now, 10 by 10 would be 100 square feet. 8 by 12 plus 5 inches is 1,304 square inches. That would be 100 square feet. So I barely am under that. That's one of the reasons I say that it can't be any bigger than what I'm saying. Not that the government's going to jump in because of 1 square inch, but I've often enough in my life been an outlaw, but I try to stay within the realm of the law whenever possible. Now, there are self-imposed limitations, many of them, on me. I will use no plywood, no screws, no concrete, no mortar, no glue. Well, the glue goes with the plywood. And this all kind of comes down to fossil fuels. Well, not all of it. No S4S lumber surfaced on 4 sides. That's what you buy at a normal lumber store. No ripping. I'm not going to rip my material. It's just going to be cross-cutting. No pallet disassembly. Although I may use 60 pallets or more in one of these, there will be no pallet disassembly. It's too hard to do. No power tools on the site. The only exception I may make is a handheld power drill. I may do that, even though I could use a bit brace, but and I have lots, but I may cheat on that. But I mean, for example, no compressor, no generator, and any bought piece that actually comes from a sawmill is to be no longer than 8 foot. That is 96 inches. If I have a longer piece, I'll splice it. So those are pretty severe limitations that I'm laying on myself, but I think I'd like you to keep them in mind as you see the way I build. Few materials, not lots of all kinds of materials. Wood, nails, a few nails, I keep mentioning 6-penny nails because they're only 2 inches long. They're the principal nails I use. A plastic called bunker cover, which I can get for free, and I'll tell you more about that later. If you wonder, what about the roof? Isn't this going to leak? What are you going to do for roofing? Bunker cover. Glass in the windows, for the windows, not the whole windows, but the glass. As little fossil fuels as possible. To work and live without fossil fuels at all right now in the modern world is just about impossible. Very little pallet sawing. We'll saw just as few pallets as possible, and the cost I'm keeping down as low as possible. Less than $500, and actually less than $300. And with what I'm building right now, I'm probably going to have less than $200 in what I'm going to build, what I'm building right now. And then finally, a few other things. The parts will be interchangeable. I can take them from one building to the other, just like automobiles. You can take a generator off one or an alternator off one car, put it on another car if it's interchangeable. And the roof must be strong enough to support a deep soiled living roof. And it must be pretty. So that's a tall order, but I think I can do all that. Bye for now. Really just so that I can include this for my own record. I was scribbling on the blackboard, and this is an end view and this is a side view elevation. That I'll do a better one later on. Let's look at this one first. This is half the building of the end view. This is the door. This is this is the sill. There's the corner board. There's the door jamb. There's the a post, and these are blocks of wood. Well, this is the end of the corner brace. I'm just going to be quick here. And this is the side view. Same thing. Corner board. This is that short little post. This is the window jamb, and that's the end of the corner board, corner cover.